public post. I need to talk about a few things today. Good morning, cousins. Good morning, cousins. Good morning, cousins. Everybody see the pretty house behind me? Everybody focus on the pretty house. Pretty house. Pretty house. Good morning. Let me share this out. It's a pretty house behind. Right here, you see that? Everyone see the house? Focus on the house. Just focus on the house. I was made aware of a project the other day, watching Conspiracy and Chill, good old brother, and he was talking about the Montauk Project. Anybody know about this Montauk Project? I don't know anything about the Montauk Project. I'm not going to convince you I know a damn thing. All I know is your government lies. That's what I know. I'm fine with all conspiracies. Your government lies all the time. Every conspiracy is true. I'm good with Bigfoot to aliens to Loch Ness Monster, Montauk Project, Montauk Monsters. Y'all see the house? Look at the pretty house. Good morning, y'all. Hang on, let me share this out. Share. Public post. And all right, let's get the comments in and get some angry faces because the government's not here to lie to us. You know what I was thinking about this morning? You know, the most successful slave plantation. If I was a master, I'm not a master, but if I were a master, I would not have a slave plantation where I whip my slave. I would not do that. I wouldn't waste my time. It's not sustainable. And all the slaves would hate me. I would get somebody else that looked like them to whip them. That's what I would do. I don't know. I'd give them some sense of self-rule, self-governing. I have a theory. I could be wrong, but I think the most sustainable slave plantations are the ones where the slaves believe in the plantation. That's what I think. I think the ones where the slaves believe that they are self-governing. I'd even give my slaves a chance to vote. I'd let them vote. I'd let them have elections. I'd let them vote. Boy, they be picking. They wouldn't even question it. They would not question it. They just pick. And then when they get upset, they wouldn't get upset at me. They get upset at the whip. They get upset at somebody like them, not me. They get upset at another American. Did I say that? They get upset at their American government. They wouldn't get upset at me. See, here's what I think. I think you can make a sustainable slave plantation if the slaves don't know they are slaves. That's what I think. Something else. I think Hollywood, this is kind of where I want to talk about this for a minute. I think Hollywood has, I'm not sure about the always. I'm kind of almost on the always, but I know right now they are the disclosure project. They are the disclosure project. America worked too good. It's like central banking in 1913. Like, oh, they believe that? They passed that? They're gonna let us print their money? The Americans are that dumb? And then so in 1933, it's like, hey, let's take it all. Let's take the whole kitty. I think Hollywood is a disclosure project. That's what I think it is. I think they have so many secrets that they grossly underestimated how stupid. No, that's wrong word. I'm sorry. How gullible we are. How trustable of masters that we are. That they use Hollywood to release what's true to us. Y'all know where this is? This is Montauk Island. This is where they got a pretty house. Y'all see the pretty house? Let me move out the way. Y'all see the pretty house? Y'all can't see the house? That should be the focus. Not that big honking radar tower behind you. There's a theory, I guess, about Stranger Things. Anybody watch Stranger Things? I watch Stranger Things. I think it's a good show. They're saying that it was real. They're saying that these were government experiment from the Montauk Project. They say that they were grabbing kids off the street and experimenting on them, doing torture tests and all that stuff for mind control and whatever. And me, when I heard about that yesterday, I was like, yeah, probably. They lie about everything, so I'm fine with all theories. But apparently they say the tower is still in New York, I guess. New York, I was in Montauk Island or something like that. And say it's still spinning around, got beeping lights or something that is still running. I'm like, yep, that's what you're supposed to do. But that's what Hollywood's for. To release movies or TV shows like Stranger Things, to release Star Wars, Star Trek. And here's what I'm saying. I think there are too many secrets, and they know there are too many secrets. There are too many. The reality that we're in on the slave plantation is so behind the breakaway civilization, these black budget projects, and these technologies, and this free energy and everything else. And I think that we are so freaking behind because we are so stupidly gullible. The government feels bad. Not the government. The people actually have real power, the master, the slave masters. I think, like, we got to start releasing something to them. They still believe in fossil fuels. They still believe in voting. We got things to do. We need them to work on projects, and we only got 100,000 scientists on these projects doing this, that, and the other on this planet, that planet, whatever. I think they use Hollywood to release to us ideas and technologies, things that bring us a little closer to their reality, but not close enough to do any damn thing. It's like, like I said, if I was a slave master, I would not let my slaves know anything true. I'd give them a self-governing plantation. That's what I think Hollywood is. And then so I posted it, and Crystal made a good comment I was thinking about. She said, because I think that Hollywood's become a disclosure project where they're trying to release some of these secrets to bring us forward so we can help them, all the scientists, and we think we're moving forward, but we're like probably 100 years behind them in technology. One, to get us to work on things, but two, to start bringing us forward because we're too gullible and we're just so far behind. Then she said, it always has been. And I was thinking about that. Has Hollywood always been a distraction and a disclosure project to build a false reality for us within the billionaire's plantation, within the banker's earth? I'm kind of a skeptic. I have to kind of stop and think about things for a minute. I thought about, what is a newspaper? Where did TV come from? Where did Hollywood entertainment all came from? The newspaper, right? Is the newspaper true? What was the purpose of the newspaper? To build a reality for a town, a city, a nation, and to get the people to do something, right? A behavior modification device. That's what a newspaper is, to give them something that isn't in their town, it's not in their community, they can't see, to be upset about, to vote for, to send money for. And so the newspaper, in my belief, it's always been virtual reality. It's always been. Like, these are the beginnings of these projects. If you can get people to stop focusing on their community and think about world events, statewide, region events, and you can lie about it with a newspaper, then you control the monkeys. And I think the newspaper was a monkey control device. I think it was a matrix, and it just evolved into Hollywood and entertainment. And this is how they keep us in this false reality, because we let a few keep all the power. I think that after the bankers in 1913 and 1933, and they realized how gullible we were, I think they just went for the kitty. They got these classified, dark budget, black budget projects, and we ended up in this really, really crazy world where we have no idea what's true. So when someone tells me that this is a Montauk Tower, which was based in what happened in Stranger Things, the TV show, I don't deny it. I believe it. I believe it. I don't think we can even fathom the amount of technology that they have. We were talking about the MK Ultra project, right? We talked about that like a month ago, how with MK Ultra, they released only half of what they worked on. We don't even, I take that back. We don't even know what they worked on. We have no damn idea, because we're stupid slaves on a plantation to keep voting for powerful people to keep secrets from us. And this is a good idea. But they only released the chemical side of MK Ultra, right? They were learning how to control us monkeys, because the newspapers, that didn't work well enough, I guess. So they were using mind control. And they redacted the other half of the project. So we only know about the drug side of it. It's like they served that guy up, because True Stream Media, they did a good talk on it. They did a good little 15-minute YouTube thing. If you haven't seen it, I'll repost it, where they redacted the important stuff and they only gave us the chemical and drug stuff. So we're all off running, chasing MK Ultra from a drugging the population perspective, and we have no idea what the other side of it. Well, I think that might be related to the other side. I think that might be related to the whole EMF, electromagnetic, using these frequencies to perhaps control thought or read thought or something else. I think the reality could be so far from what we understand, so far. And that's why I ain't voting today. That's why I'm not voting today, because I just don't believe in living in a slave plantation and giving people above me all power over me, and they can have secrets. That's stupid. So anyway, Then I started thinking about the MRI device and how our brain, our thoughts aren't in here, that our thoughts are out here, how it reads our brain from out here. And then I'm wondering about this damn camera right here. Is AI listening to my words, or is it actually reading my thought? Is it using 5G towers like Lori just posted to give me thoughts, or just to make me sad and angry? Like, my mind, I'm a skeptic. That's why I hate living in that. And then I start to laugh because it's stupid. It's ridiculous that we actually live in this model, but there's just so much. And then I'm like kind of a skeptic. Well, maybe they don't have the ability to give me thoughts and read my thoughts, but they got the ability to just control my emotions. Like that whole Facebook thing where they were trying to control people's moods. Maybe they were just modifying your timeline to see if you were happy and sad. Like maybe this is all a big experiment, but maybe they're further than that. I don't know. I just don't think it's a good idea to continue. Anyway, good morning, y'all. How y'all doing? I'm gonna look at the messages. I don't really have the Montauk Project to talk about because I kind of don't care, and I do care. I kind of don't care, and I don't live in New York. I'm far enough. I don't think that tower has that much power. Look, that's mine from New York right there. I'm kind of worried about my community. Like, I'm worried about everybody. Like, to me, at a certain point, it's like, what's the point? What's the point? Do you really think that they document the worst stuff? Right? The worst stuff. Like, I'm tired of being played, and I don't want to jump off the cliff for MK Ultra and what they're doing with drugs, and they got the electromagnetic thing they're doing, but then the real stuff, the real deep stuff, they don't actually put on paper. Would you put it on paper? If you had if you were going to, I don't know, you were a slave master, you had a plantation, you had the slaves all up in your house cooking and cleaning and whatever, would you actually write down what you're planning on doing? Would you write down black budget project? Would you write down the real stuff, or would you write down the simple stuff? See, we don't get to know what's true because we keep playing this game, and I'm not into the game anymore, y'all. I'm out the game. Out the game. I'll sit here and I'll watch. So I'm not so interested. I'm curious because I like to show Stranger Things. Good Googa Mugga. I want to know where the Demogorgon's at. As long as the Demogorgon's in New York, I'm good. I got about an hour notice and warning. The Demogorgon come out the damn Hudson River. I need about an hour. That's it. If I can get about an hour, he see all my people in New York start yelling and screaming. Yeah, the Demogorgon. Did y'all watch the show? I'm talking about stuff y'all haven't seen. All right, anyway, that's what I think. I think Hollywood is a disclosure project. That's what I'm kind of thinking. I'm gonna start queuing up some news, but I'm looking at your comments. Let y'all take this where you want it to go, because I'm not in control of this thing. And plus, people donate to the daggone Patreon, so I feel obligated. I actually feel bad. I looked at Patreon the other day. I'm like, oh dang, people donate. Like, oh, I kind of feel bad. But I didn't have a choice last week. I couldn't do videos. It was shut down. It was malware. It was virus. So we're good to go now. Give me some antivirus software going. All right, let me pull up the news real quick and I'm gonna look at your comments. I think Hollywood is a disclosure project. I think they use it, one, to distract us, right? If something important's about to happen, they need to go bomb, blow something up, destroy something. They put somebody, say, cue blackface, and put some and they pull up somebody's picture from like, I don't know, 1952 in blackface. Hey, we done caught Robert De Niro in blackface, and everybody flips out. And to me, I'm not worried about blackface. I appreciate people's struggle from a couple hundred years ago or 100 years ago. I got struggles today. I'm worried about the people with no face, right? You keep worrying about the people in blackface, you're gonna get done by the people with no face, the people who don't appear on TV, the powerful, the masters who actually run all of this crap and put the people in blackface against you, all right? And I'm not saying Robert De Niro was in blackface, don't get upset. I just think Hollywood serves a couple purposes. One is distraction. Cue Michael Jackson and some babies, cue Al Sharpton and Tawana Brawley, cue 9/11 after the trillions of dollars gets hidden. They're always using television. When I say Hollywood, I mean television. They're always using it to control our reality, to tell us what to be upset about, what not to. You can break into intellectual people if you can make them emotional. Two, I think it's to release these secrets. I think it's they've been working on black budget stuff. They got the cotton gin ready to go, and they kind of got to let the slaves know about it because we got to run the cotton gin, like until the AI robots are ready. So they kind of slowly release information to us. And three, I think it's to get us to work on things. I think there are thoughts, right? And they need to put them out into the ethos and see what we come back with. Like, we, to a degree, has anybody looked at the SETI project? SETI used to have this project where you could download an app, put it on your machine, and they would use the collective power of millions of computers to crunch the data, right? What is that called? It's not decompartmentalized. Goodness gracious, because there are a couple of them. They're doing it for world hunger and a bunch of other things. But they use the collective power of people who have machines to crunch the data and feed, information back to them, looking for the aliens that don't use radio signals. I don't think that they do. I think Hollywood releases information to put a thought out there. We think about it, we crunch it, we use our brain power to process it. We talk about it on social media, we post about it, and they collect the data, they collect the thoughts. Because this is part of why I think the NSA has all the data and everything's being spied on. You've got, apps, and there's a back door to all the software that the CIA puts in. Yeah, decentralized, who is that? Alexander, thank you. Decentralized programming or something like that. Decentralized computing, something to that degree. But I think that's what Hollywood does. It puts that out there. We think about it. We create in our mind new, genius ideas. And then they take that and they push it back into the black budget project, and they keep moving things forward. And then they put something back out into the ethos of thought. That's what I kind of think. But I think they also use it to determine how we're going to react to things. I think they'll release some of the things they've been working on. And this goes back to this guy I knew from the Pentagon who told me, he said, I've said it before, but there's always new people around. He said that there are two realities. He says there's the one, and this goes back to the Gulf War. He said there are two realities. He said that there's a reality that the public's allowed to know, and that's on TV. And then he said there's the reality that the public's not allowed to know. And with that, he was like, I'm not going to convince you I know, because I've only worked on bits and pieces of it, right? Bits and pieces of these decompartmentalized projects. But I do know that we don't have to go to Iraq to fight Saddam. We don't have to risk, thousands of soldiers' lives, and we don't have to go kill millions of people for anything. We have technology to do anything we want to do. So he said there are two realities. He said there's the public reality, and then he said then there's what we really have. And what we really have, government actually doesn't have much control over because it's decompartmentalized from them. So this is a don't vote morning, by the way. That's why I'm not voting, because your government actually isn't in control. They're not in control. We need to focus on the master, not the whip. Focus on the people with no face, not the black face. Focus on the real power. Don't focus on what they put on TV. They don't put anything that's true or important on billionaires' television. They don't. I think between the cracks, you have a few investigative journalists like Michael Hastings and these guys, but eventually they kill them. John Perkins, whoever it is. So I think you can watch the news and get little bits and pieces of what we don't know, but is it anywhere close to what the real power and the real powerful people are? Never. It's like a dog. Don't be a dog, right? If you're a dog and the mailman comes and throws a newspaper, don't bite the newspaper. Don't bite his leg. He's just trying to do a job. He just wants to put biscuits on the table, right? I got you, just deliver the mail, It's like the government, Democrats and Republicans. Everybody's mad at this one or that one. I'm just like, neither one of them's important. They're both literally just delivering the mail. Like, no, we gotta get the Republicans. Start chewing on it. That's just a hymn. You're not gonna change the world by chewing on a Republican's hymn. It's not. The mail's still gonna get delivered. In fact, if you actually get down to flesh, get through this pants leg, they got other mailmen. They got another one at home. Because they got more people want biscuits, right? And so the Republicans just get another one. We gotta impeach Trump. And I'm like, yo, leave him alone. The him is not important. We got bigger issues. And to a degree, I think we're all kind of in it together. One of the reasons I don't believe in government is I know too many people in government, all right? And off the record, they'll tell you what you need to know. So don't get excited about television and Hollywood. It's just used to control you. It's like the newspaper and the radio. They control your matrix to keep you focused on each other. Fight the other poor people, fight the other poor nations. Don't ever focus on the people with no face. All right, that's all I got for that. I'm gonna do comments and we'll look at the Lion News and see if there's anything important. To me, it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun. I think the brother posted this morning. Said he said not because what I was listening to Sag Guru. I always do my morning thing. Listen to my morning teachers, and because I know that I'm lost in all of this. I want to find myself, but I'm lost in it. And I think the brother. Let me go to the post. And it was kind of a repost said a different way. Sag Guru was talking about good and bad people, right? There's no good and bad people. Stop acting like there's good and bad mailmen. They're just mailmen. They're trying to get a check just like you. There's no good and bad people. And so that was one of his quotes. He said, there are no good and bad people. They're just miserable people and joyful people. Right? And this goes back to what he said in an earlier talk about how we oscillate, right? There's no good and bad people. There's just people who oscillate more in the bad space and people who oscillate more in the good space based on where they're born, what they're given, what they're not, what's denied, their oppression. Everybody's got to cross the bear, blah, 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 which makes a lot of sense to me. I don't think there's good and bad people. That's why I ain't mad at Trump and I ain't mad at Obama and I ain't mad at none of them. But he said it a different way. He said there's just miserable people and joyful people. And I started thinking about kids and I'm thinking, man, think about that from a kid perspective. The kid is born into a miserable country, a miserable place, a miserable family, scarcity, artificial scarcity to be more precise. That kid is set up. That kid is going to become what you call a bad kid for the prison system. A bad kid as a white nationalist, a bad kid in the KKK, a bad kid in the Crips or the Bloods and the Triads and MS-13. And I don't think there are any bad kids. I don't think there are any bad adults. I think you have babies born into miserable conditions because your government can't do anything about it because you still believe in them, and they become what they become. But Brother Montez posted something. He said, I don't see any joyful people, just counterfeit man-made joy. Right? New age gurus and agents for the beast of the empire, right? And I was thinking about that. Because I don't agree, Brother Montez. Brother, I don't agree with you. I'm joyful. I laugh I laugh all damn day. I can't stop it. I don't know why. Because to me, it's ridiculous. I laugh. You know why? Because it's a tower behind me. That's why I laugh. I look at this like, y'all, we paid for that. Y'all know we paid for that. We do pay. Anybody know anybody in New York got any family out there? Do y'all know that dog that washed up on the shore with like 3 teeth or whatever and a hook or something like that? I just like, we paid for this. I start looking at things. I'm like, oh my God, we don't know nothing. We are dumb. We are foolish. And then I laugh. So I think I find my joy in laughing at it and laugh at it. So I'm joyful. I'm always joyful. Doesn't mean things are going great in my life. It just means I laugh because it's all ridiculous that we want to keep this going. And then he said something about just counterfeit man-made joy. I am counterfeit. I'm counterfeit. I got to make a confession to you guys. Okay? I got to make a confession. Be honest with you. I'm counterfeit. I'm definitely CIA. It's not without a doubt. People like, oh my God, he's CIA. I am. Because of the damn tower, people. I watch Hollywood. I grew up watching Dallas, Falcon Crest, Different Strokes. I grew up watching, they indoctrinated me. I read the newspaper. I did my book reports. I did everything. I went to school. They indoctrinated. So I know I'm counterfeit. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm counterfeit. And I think that's pretty damn funny. It's man-made because the CIA is man-made and all these projects and how they lied to us. I am counterfeit. I'm not going to lie. I think my only difference is I'm trying to not be counterfeit. And I find it damn hilarious, the ideas they gave me and the concepts and the things I believed in. I'm biting the mailman. I'm ripping the newspaper apart. And I'm not thinking about maybe we shouldn't have a UPS. Maybe I should go after UPS, and like the different levels. Because I guess in that analogy, I laugh because it's just like, all right, I used to be upset when he threw the newspaper. I used to rip the newspaper up, and I escaped out of that portion of the matrix. And I started attacking the mailman, the pants of the mailman. And then I realized, no, it's a mailman in them pants. Start attacking the leg, learn some more, and I'm gonna attack the truck, and another truck. At a certain point in time, we need to do root cause analysis and solve problems at the root. At a certain point in time, I think we have to step up to that. So that's what I kind of think. I think Hollywood is a disclosure project. I think we're all highly controlled, and I think we're all counterfeit, and they're just people who want to stop being counterfeit. And more they get less counterfeit by like looking at the root cause. People say we need to get in the streets. We need to get out our Sharpie signs, change the world. And I'm just, no, I don't think that's a good idea just yet. Have you ever been in an emotional crowd, right? Because that's on emotion. And when you get out in the crowd, now's the time to read. Now's the time to learn. Now's the time to do research, do root cause analysis, and look at what the real problems with the world are. We still got the majority of people thinking the real problems with the world are on CNN, Fox, MSNBC, and the BBC, okay? They still think the billionaires' news tells them what they need to know. News you can trust. Dun, 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 dun. They give us all these tunes and hey, in the paper, here's what we need the dumb people to be upset about, you know? No, now's not a time to be in the streets. Now's the time to educate yourself. Educate yourself. Start to learn. Start to exit your indoctrination and realize you're a counterfeit. Stop believing yourself. Don't trust yourself. Why would you trust yourself? You ain't know yourself. I don't trust myself at all. Man, I had the blacks lying to me, had the whites lying to me, the Christians lying to me, the Marylanders lying to me, the Americans lying to me. There's just layer upon layer of BS, just bullshit. Now's the time to educate yourself, to learn, read, write. Talk to people who aren't like you, right? Learn what they know. Make friends with them because you're going to die with them. You all going to die together. Your kids going to die. Doesn't matter if they do tractor pulls and drink a lot of beer. Doesn't matter if they drink malt liquor and got pants hanging around their butt. You were born into the same oppressive society they were. Now's the time to read. Not right. Put the Sharpie down. Educate yourself. Because when you get out in the street with emotional crowds, they use these damn things to control you. That's why they put the 5G out there. No, you know, emotional people get emotional solutions. Don't ever let your emotions betray you. They use it against you. Don't let your emotions betray you. You know, you get out there in the streets yelling and screaming, they already got an emotional solution prepared to give you. They're controlling you. All right, so no, I'm not a get in the street, or we need to educate ourselves. I was thinking about an ant today. There's an ant crawling over. You ever think about an ant's reality? Like sometimes, I don't know, I'm drinking my coffee in the morning. Ty was on this morning. I was watching Ty, drinking my coffee, and he went off too early. I couldn't get the whole thing. I had to watch the rest of it later. Now I'm looking at this ant. Did anybody do this? Am I the only one? Am I crazy? Well, I know I'm crazy, but I'm just looking at this ant. Like, you know, this ant's crawling on my leg. Does it not know I'm here? It's not respecting my personal space. Does it have any idea that's on the knee of a giant? I could squash it like a bug, and I'm about to squash it like a bug. Well, I don't like to kill ants too much. I like to put aphids on my plants. So, think about the reality of an ant. It has no idea of my power. I could just squish it, and it could care less. It's just doing it's crawling up on this giant's leg. The show on Hulu I just started watching is called I Kill Giants. Watch it. I'm not going to tell you about it. Do your homework. We're going to have to talk about this one. A voyage into a little girl's life who kills giants. Just watch it. Don't be fooled. And I'm watching this ant. I'm thinking, does an ant? I mean, if I flick it, if I put my finger on it, and I let it know that I'm here, yeah, it's gonna get freaked out. It's gonna start running, and it's gonna get off of mission for whether the queen sent it out there to find some food or do something. But it doesn't even know I'm here. I bet you that ant thinks it's alone in the universe. Do you think that? Do you think that little pissant? I mean, that ant. Do you think that pissing human? Do you think they think they're alone in the universe because they don't know that there's a giant here? I don't think they see us. I don't know. They don't see us, or they don't care about us, or they don't sense us, or we're lesser than they are. So I think about that. Everyone sees what's in their realm, right? Their dimension. Ants have a different realm, a different dimension, and they're only focused on what they can see. They're looking for some damn cake. Looking for some GMO food to fall out of my mouth so they can pick it up, take it back to the queen, feed the babies. But it's in its own little realm. It's trying to survive. We need to stop trying to survive. This is why I appreciate like the talks and lectures on like 6 senses, getting out of our survival senses and starting to focus on what really matters. Getting out of the reality that billionaires place us in. We're ants crawling on giants. All right, we're ants crawling on giants, and the giants can be whatever you think it is. We need to stop walking around like we're confused on the missions for the queen and the king. There's all that patriotism and nationalism, this allegiance to billionaires. We need to grow up. Stop serving the mailman. All right, I'm gonna do comments and we'll look at the news. The old. I like the. I gotta find some sound bits. I think it's whistleblowers trying to get the truth out. Oh, John, I appreciate that. John, I think so too. I posted something yesterday. I was asking everybody, who are your favorite whistleblowers? What did they say and what did they blow? Behave. Behave. I think Hollywood's partially that too. I do think that there are people, because they say the CIA's all over Hollywood. They say they have offices in Hollywood. So I think there are people who are trying to help us too. Right? There's certain things that, because when you classify something, you can't do it permanently. And not that I know, they probably could have that and they'd lie to us about it, nothing I can do about that. But a lot of classification has a timestamp. You can't tell the public something till this, and that date expires. And someone in the CIA who wants to actually help, like these thousands of whistleblowers telling Americans stop believing in your government. These thousands of whistleblowers who work in the British government, stop believing in your government. They don't have any power. They're just doing a job, not a service to the people no more. They're just doing a job for corporations and billionaires, maintaining this false reality. But I think there are whistleblowers in Hollywood. I think they slowly release that information. But we don't care about the whistleblowers in Hollywood, nor do we care about the whistleblowers in reality. All the ones that have come forward, we don't protect them. We don't, but boy, people will protect their politicians. They'll protect their politicians more than they'll protect their wife or their friend or whatever else. You can cuss the wife out, call her all kinds of fat, this, that, and the other, but you cannot talk about their politician. Disclosure is coming. Mainstream media is already leaking. I think so, Sissy Davis, but I think, oh, goodness gracious, they're playing with the feed because Sissy Davis look damn sure like Stacey, unless Stacey got a different profile name, and y'all do that to me, and it confuses me. I don't know. It's an illness that we got multiple profile disorder. That's why Facebook in the Facebook jail. So I got so many of my friends in jail. They got like 3, 4, 5 profiles. I got to delete people all the time, but I don't know who's who anymore. We got multiple profile disorder. Need to make a pill for it. Well, I think mainstream media is leaking, but I don't think it's ever going to be allowed to leak anything important. It'll never leak the things that aren't recorded, right? The real data, the real projects and what they're really up to. They'll never let it out. Never let it out. We see not everything is a lie. Narratives work when they use manipulation. Something, and it went up, Ty. Not everything is a lie. I think they tell us a lot of truth, Ty. I think they tell us a lot of truth just to see how we'll respond. That's what I think. Because that's what I would do. This is how I process things. Because if you're new, how do you figure out what's going on? How do you really get there? I'm gonna tell you the secret. I'm gonna tell you all the secret. Y'all listen, anybody got your pens and pads, notebooks? I'm gonna tell you how to really figure out what's going on. I'm gonna tell you. Listen, are you listening? You never will. You can't. You can't figure it out. You're a slave on a plantation. You will never know what's going on in the big house. You're never gonna figure it out. That'll drive you crazy trying to figure it out. All you can do is look at nuances, right? You can look at human behavior, what the kings and lords have always done, realize that you're still under some sort of feudal control, and what they did then, they're probably doing now. That's all you can do. And so I try to process things. And so if I were the king, what would I do? If I were one of the presidents, who are all related, by the way, y'all know that, right? You know all the presidents are cousins. You know they're all cousins. Obama even said it. Dick Cheney was his cousin, and he was related to Bush. And did you ever go look at the genealogy things? They're all related. I know I say everybody's all related, and we are. We're all cousins, but some cousins a little closer than the other cousins. And I started looking at this, all the presidents were related back to this, what is his name? King, I don't know, Jack Flack, something like that. I posted it the other day, but every single president, people don't look on my Facebook because I don't have Facebook pages. I gotta say the name. What is his name? King of England. Every U.S. president has been related to John Lackland. Did y'all know that? I didn't know that. I didn't know that. It's too much. This is why I laugh all the time. Every U.S. president was related to a king of England from 1199 named John Lackland, except for one. Van Buren was not. I don't know how true that is. I have no idea. Y'all talk about the bloodline and stuff. I don't deny anything. You're like, yeah, all the kings are from the Anunnaki bloodline. It's from this bloodline, that bloodline. I don't deny anything. I know I'm being lied to. I don't know. Is it possible it's alien blood or something going back? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I found that interesting. That's crazy. Anybody know anything about that? Tell me about that, because I don't. This is why I pause and I sit back and I just laugh. We're a bunch of dumb monkeys on a plantation. We out there fighting Donald Trump, and I just. I mean, they don't even lie to you anymore. They didn't lie with Ronald Reagan. They pulled him right off of TV, right out of Hollywood, and just put him right in your face, and now you're upset about everything. I don't know. Anyway, 5G tower. Christine, I think that's probably worse than a 5. You know what? But how old is that? That's probably pretty old. That's the old Monta. It could be a 5G tower from the earlier version. Maybe they didn't shut it off. They're just running like New York people going crazy. And they just, oh, dang it. It's 2019. Did anybody shut off? Remember the first 5G tower we were working on? Did anybody shut that off? No, I didn't shut it. You didn't shut it off? Did we turn? Is that facility still running? Still got power? Is it still? And it's answering a lot of questions, and it's making sense to me now. You ever go to New York and realize that you got to be angry in New York for getting anybody to respond to do any damn thing? You in the store, you just trying to buy some drawers or something in the back, standing in line, they helping everybody else, not helping you. Other people yelling, they get service, you don't, because you're a nice guy. You're born and raised in Maryland, love everybody, just trying to be nice, waiting your turn. And in New York, they don't give you no attention. You got to raise your voice. You actually do. See, it's weird for me because I grew on the outskirts of DC. You raise your voice, it's time. It's on. Okay, everybody speaks monotone, right? You speak monotone. You don't speak monotone, it means I got to start putting my shoes on. It means I got to get ready because this is about to happen. But if you go to New York, you got to raise your voice. You think maybe people are aggressive in New York and you got to yell and scream to get attention, squeak wheel gets the oil because they didn't let that damn 5G, the earlier version on that jacks you up, makes you angry, upset. I don't know, I'm gonna get in trouble. I got family in New York. So listen, I don't know anything. Laughing is healthy unless you're a joker. Laughing is very healthy. Has anybody seen the Joker? I'm thinking about going to see the Joker. Thank you, Susan. I do want to see the Joker because we are the Joker. We some jokers, Be some jokers. I know you don't think you are. I think I think I laugh at you every day because I laugh at me every day. I look in the mirror and I laugh and I can't believe that we are here. All right, let me see. We know G is a robot. I am a robot, sissy. I am. Is that you? You must have another profile there. Yeah, because everybody else pictures is right. Girl, why you got multiple profile disorder? Hey, all right, anyway. I am a robot because software, because newspapers, because radio, because I believed everything since I was born. I'm definitely a robot. Do not trust me. I tell you, don't trust me. Don't trust me, you're going to get in trouble. Trust the collective. Don't trust me. Because what do I know? Let me see. The stronger you become, the more gentle you become. Weak-minded people are hostile and violent and loud. They are, Todd. They are. That's spot on. That's that psychology, right? Because you get all aggressive and mad when you're weak-minded. When you're strong-minded, and you can sit back like, yeah, I'm not gonna go to that protest. In Charlottesville, I ain't going. You know what? I was thinking about going for a minute, but I'm just thinking, because you're gonna have fools on one side and fools on the other side, and the faceless people who actually made them all fools ain't going to the rally. So yeah, I ain't gonna go, because on one side, you got the white nationalists, they my cousins, they crazy. On the other side, you got social justice warriors, they my cousins, they crazy. And usually when you get crazy people together, emotional, weak-minded people, what happens? Crazy things. The police show up in great force and great numbers with the National Guard and everybody going to prison, everybody catching a case. Or the police like, or the NSA doesn't tell the governor, who doesn't tell the sheriff, who doesn't tell the police, and the police show up with 6 guys and a donut. Donuts and coffee. Yeah, they're gonna get out there. They're gonna say, "Don't knock down the statue," and we're gonna go home. And because the police, the only thing worse probably than having too many police out there is no police, and that's what the police did. They just walked away from the rally. I think if you're strong of mind and you're wise, you look at the matrix and you determine what you get involved in and what you don't. And I don't get involved in emotional crowds. You got that emotion going, you want to get out and get some Sharpie signs and start protesting and yelling, you don't know what the problem is, they're going to give you an emotional solution. And I don't want an emotional solution. I like to fix problems. I don't like to play with problems. Learn the laws and your rights. Absolutely, Hillary. Learn the laws and your rights. And better yet, I'm going to say that another way, Hillary. I'm going to say learn the law. Because this is where I kind of disagree with my law friends. Because they say, you know, we got to study law. Got to study law. Got to study law. I love y'all to death, but I ain't studying no law. I didn't read enough laws to know I don't want to study the law. Because I asked myself the question, am I subject to these laws, really? Because I like the core and the basis of my thing is, but the king wrote the laws. I don't know the king. King ain't never called me. King ain't asked me that. The king never asked me if I wanted a lying constitution. He never did. He never asked me if I wanted part of the Bill of Rights before they got rid of the Bill of Rights. The king didn't ask me anything. I was born under the king. I was born on the plantation, right? So I'm not against studying law. I'm not against it. Everybody swing at it how you want. I believe in one law. All right, the alien came here, y'all call him God, Jehoshaphat, Jehovah, whatever you want to call him, Allah, I'm good with all of that soul, and that God said I have free will. So I believe in free will. Do unto others as you shall have them do unto you. That's the only law that I respect. I don't respect none of the rest of it. Now, if I go to court, I'm going to respect it. I go to court, hell no, give me a lawyer, because I know what these junk bunnies like to do. They like to give you a public defender. All right. So yeah, I study the law when it comes to that, but short of that, I don't break no laws. I don't mess with the law at all. I stay away from the law. I stay away from police. Love them to death. They're my cousins. I still love judges. Love them to death. I just don't fit the profile of anybody who does well in admiralty court. Okay, I don't fit it. If you don't know what admiralty law is, you need to pay attention. This is why we got brothers and sisters studying the law. I don't do well on the ship in a guy in a robe. I just don't fit the profile. I got a bald head and other aspects, and I don't do well. So I stay in my lane. I understand where I'm supposed to be, where I ain't supposed to be. Hey, Gerard, why don't you come on, go to the party? Come on to the protest. Oh yeah, that sounds good. Who gonna be at the party and the protest? Well, we're gonna have a bunch of people, emotional, mad, upset, angry, yelling, screaming at some police. Who? Who gonna be there? All right. I love the police. I see them. Hey, buy them a cup of coffee, say nice things to them, because I think when you take people who are in powerful positions, you want them to be happy. You don't want them to be angry and upset. And that's why I was fine with Bill Clinton. I had no problem with Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky. Though that's the only thing he did I appreciate. You want people in powerful positions to be happy, not angry, aggressive, because then young people get hurt when they are. But yeah, if the police got to be there, I don't need to be there. Hey, girl, you come on down there. Yeah, okay. Yeah, the police got to be there. I don't need to be there. If the police think it's enough of a problem that they need to be there, I don't need to be there because I fit the description. I may not have a chance to show them I'm a good one. I may not have a chance to show them I'm a nice guy. I think you're a brother of mine and a cousin. Because when people get emotional, if they start throwing things and gas flying and stuff, I'm a step back and let my brothers and cousins who they know how to handle them situations. They look like they do better in that situation. I let them handle it. But yeah, I'm not interested. Protests and petitions accomplish one thing: the validation of the system that is breaking us. Ooh, Rebecca, you just pissing people off. Where the angry faces? Y'all got, because I listen, I seen your petitions. Y'all send me petitions all the time. I get petitions in my inbox all the time. Rebecca, I need some angry faces for Rebecca's comment, please. Somebody out there writing a petition right now. Rebecca just said that. It does. You know, but this is my thing with law. It's the same basic thing. It means that I agree with your system. I agree that I'm a slave and you're the master. I agree because you had more jewels and you drew the border that I should respect these borders. And I don't respect none of that. And I don't want to respect none of that. If I write the petition, I'm pleading to the master that I want a Juneteenth celebration. There you go. There you go. Rebecca, there your angry face right there. They're trying to get the petition together right now. And with voting, I don't agree. I mean, if the people I'm voting for don't even have access to the technology in these projects and they can't tell me what this damn tower is, why am I voting for them, right? If every time I drive to New York on the New Jersey Turnpike, that thing is buzzing in my brain, why am I voting for them? What are they gonna do for me? They're not gonna protect me against that tower. They don't even know what the damn tower is. They don't have the right to access to the project. So yeah, I don't believe in voting. I don't believe in trying to solve a problem with the wrong tool. I don't believe. Oh, see, the Lori can get out of hand. That's why I don't say whistleblower, because people, they go too far with it. The best we can do is bite them big biatches in the butt and have to do And have a giggle. Oh, okay, and squash about it. Oh, Patricia, okay, I had to translate, y'all. That's why sometimes I read slow, because I can't read your four-letter acronyms, your colorful metaphors. I don't like to speak like that. I was raised in the church, and we used to get it. We used to get it in the church. We used to get it at school. We used to get it at home. We used to get spankings from your uncles and your aunts and your cousins and your big brothers, and I don't cuss. That's a part of my indoctrination. So I had to translate. I forgot what sis. I'm sorry, I forgot what you even said. You just see, you triggered something. You triggered something. You triggered some spankings and stuff back when I was Oof. And you just discombobulated. I forgot what you said. I'm sorry. I know that's an issue. I know me. I know what I'm capable of. If my father didn't spank the hell out of me, and my uncles and my aunts and my mother didn't throw that shit with me, I'd be right now. The thing I appreciate is they got me when I was young. Right? If you spank a child when they're little, it's just a few taps on the butt, right? By the time they're 15, 16, 17, you're not spanking that child. That child's not hurt. It's not hurt. It's like CIA torture. Torture hurts when you don't do it, when you're threatening it. By the time they get that big, you're supposed to be threatening to take a smartphone. You want to make a kid cry, just check. We didn't have smartphones back then. But you take it, they get used to it. So you got to use mind games on your kid when they get older. The last time I got a spanking, last time I got corporal punishment, I don't know what it was. I was getting big. I was kind of getting big in the chest. I forgot my father was in the military. I was getting big in the chest. This is important. It's what you got to do sometimes. And I got up in his face, man, because we're from D.C. When you from D.C., I was dealing with them Southeast kids, man. We was dealing with Rayful, Edmond, crack cocaine. You had to be tough. I tell y'all, I had a privileged upbringing, and I did. Nice house. Mama put food and bread on the table, and biscuits and Spam and Scrapple, pig feet, all of that. Steaks and shrimps. But I had to go to school with the ghetto kids. I had to go to school with the hoods and some of the kids from the trailer park. I had to. So you had to be a little tough. And one day I thought I was too tough. Stood up to pop. I don't know, something transpired. I don't know what it was. And I think he realized, like, you know what? This dude actually is getting kind of big. I can beat the hell out of him, but I love him. So I'm not going to spank him because it ain't going to hurt him. I know what's going to happen. He decided to pick me up and put me through the wall. He did. He put me through the wall, but it was a loving put through the wall. He only put me through one layer of sheetrock. He could put me through both. He only put me through one. He knew where the studs were somehow too. He built the house actually. He came from a different breed. He knew where the studs were, and he pushed me through the well. And guess what? That was the last time he had to lay his hands on me. I understood at that point. I get it now. You love me. You don't want to hurt me, but it's getting too far. I'm getting too big. You big enough. I get it. That's the last time. All right. Anyway. So that stuff stays in your brain. But yeah, I believe in spanking. I just think that you have to give your kids corporal punishment at a young age. Don't let it get to their big. When it gets big, it's too late. A kid who respects rules in the house will respect the laws in the land. All right? And I don't believe in none of the laws. Don't believe in none of them. Every law is illegal. I believe Bob Marley that human beings are born free like ants. However, that's not our current situation. You have to look at where you want to be, but then also look at the current situation. My activism is for me. It's not for my kids. That's for me. I don't send my kids out on my errands. I don't send them out in the street to protest for me. I don't send them out in the street to protest for black people. I don't send them out in the street to protest for anything. I want my kids to be free. They don't need to take on my fight. I got my own fights. I can take on my own fights. I don't need your help. I damn sure don't need my kids' help. I don't teach my kids to stand up to police and stand their ground. I don't teach them all that ignorance. That's for ignorant people. My job is to love my kids and not let anything happen to them that don't happen to me first. I'll stop sending these kids out in the street to protest. They need to go to college. They need to be indoctrinated and learn to be good slaves. No, that's my point. That's my point. Is, take it on the chin. We're supposed to take it on the chin. We're the adults, not them. We broke the world, not them. We keep it broke, not them. I had to pet a wild ant. What? I tried color coding them a small dish of sugar and water. You gave them sugar water, Adam, and you color coded and you petted them? You colonizer. You do good at human farming. You should go in the government. Yeah, are you in the government, Adam? That you should, because that's what you, because if you color the ants, just like coloring the people, you make some of them black, make some of them white, make some of them yellow, some of them immigrants, some of them not, and you get them all fighting each other. And then you give them, you get some sugar water, right? You only give some of them sugar water to keep from the others, and they'll hate each other, and they'll fight each other all the time. They won't ever know that they're inside your little ant farm. Adam, are you in government? What you work for? You Congress? What are you? You got the mindset of a colonizer, brother. You that. All right. We didn't look at the news today. We didn't look at the news. We didn't even look at what the monkey's upset about today. I gotta go to the news. I gotta know what the monkey's upset about. Not that I believe in any of it, but if you don't know what the monkey's about to get flipping about today, then you don't know how to respond. I like to know how to respond. I kind of know what's going on, and I know why people get in their panties and draws all up in a bunch, and I don't fall into it. Let me see what we got. Airline seats. Oh, you know what? By the way, another thing, I'm working on something. I'm working on another project. I'm working on another project. I'm gonna let y'all pick and choose the news, the old that we get into. I ain't ready to go. Need a little more time. Still working on some things, but I'm gonna let y'all pick and choose. I got a tool I'm gonna release, so you get to pick and choose, and maybe vote. I don't know. Vote. An election system that actually works. What is news that we need to look at? So. But you're gonna have to get up early in the morning to do that, or do it late at night, because I'm tired of picking the news. I'm tired of me driving this. This is stupid. Y'all need to drive it, not me. Airline seats to become smaller. How small? Well, they can't get that small because Americans kind of big. They got to get on the airplane. Oh, well, maybe that's a scam to buy 2 tickets. I don't think that's really news, and I don't think they're gonna shrink the size of the seats. They still selling the GMOs, it's jacking everybody up in processed foods. So yeah, let me see. West Point instructor decries illegal U.S. military policies. Whistleblower, we gotta listen to the whistleblower. Really? Whistleblower, let's do whistleblower. I believe in whistleblowers, y'all. Whistleblowers I trust all the time. I don't trust your government.
Tonight, this story, the attack is on. Yes, it's official. As expected, Turkey is launching airstrikes into northern Syria against Kurdish positions. We have 2 reports again tonight. One on what's going on, also what's being said about it, and then a second report on the political fallout and whether it's really misplaced to some extent. We're going to begin our coverage on this with RT correspondent.
All right, if you're new and you didn't hear yesterday, let me explain to you. Should we pull out of Syria? All right, real quickly. If you should find your thing and somebody else's thingy, get your thing out of their thingy, okay? That's called a violation. If your thing is in a place it does not belong, if there was no consent for you to put your thing in their thingy, you're in the wrong. Remove your thing from their thingy, okay? That's how it works. We are not supposed to be in Syria. It's not your place. You don't live there. You should not have tanks, guns, bombs, drones, or anything. Get out of there. Well, what about the Kurds? Listen, I love the Kurds. They're my cousin too. Let me tell you what about the Kurds. This is how I think this gets there, how it plays out, right? So, I don't want the Kurds to be slaughtered. I do not. They're my cousins. But we got to learn a lesson. We all got to learn lessons in life. The Kurds trusted the Rothschild bankers. Okay? The Kurds trusted central banking and the Rothschilds and Rockefellers when they came in the avatar of a Pentagon. Right? When they came in the avatar of the CIA, the Kurds trusted them. Said, oh, America's gonna free us. America's gonna save us. But they didn't look at America's resume. America ain't freed nobody. The Americans are slaves, they don't even own land, okay? They're not coming to free you, they're not coming to give you democracy. They're coming for your resources. It is important that the Kurds retreat. I'm sorry, I hate to say this, but this is what needs to happen. It's important that you retreat. It's important that the whole world sees you do it. It's important that perhaps you lose your land. Why it is important? So no one will trust the Rothschild banking central war complex, deep state society, black Illuminati, dark agency pretending to be an American government. Nobody trusts them no more. They say they're coming to your country to help. They're lying. They're not even Americans, all right? They're doing a job for big corporations and banks. When y'all stop trusting them, then the Americans can stay home. All right? You got sellouts in your country that, oh, America's gonna come free us. Just ask Americans, are they free? We need this to stop, and it's only gonna stop if we actually start pulling out. Start pulling out, because rape is always bad. You don't get to rape anybody nor rape anybody's country and have the moral authority, okay? We need people to stop trusting this Pentagon thing. A lot of good people in it. But at the tops, we don't control it. We don't even control the politicians. So that's my take on it.
Rachel Blevins.
Turkey has officially started a planned military offensive into northeastern Syria days after the United States pulled back troops near the border. The operation started with a bombing campaign which Turkey claimed was targeting terrorists and their shelters. Residents were seen fleeing border towns in northern Syria after their villages came under attack, and initial reports claim that at least 7 civilians were killed by airstrikes on Wednesday. Turkish President Erdogan referred to the offensive as Operation Peace Spring and said the goal is to create a safe zone for Syrian refugees to return to their country. But the terrorists Turkey is targeting are the Kurdish-led Syrian Democratic Forces who have worked with the U.S. in the fight against ISIS. And they are now calling on the U.S. and its allies to establish a no-fly zone in the area that could lead to a direct conflict with Russia. In addition to President Trump's threats that the United States would obliterate Turkey's economy if they went too far in Syria, a Pentagon spokeswoman confirmed that the U.S. military took steps to limit Turkey's access to the airspace over northeastern Syria. However, Turkey's vice president dismissed the warnings and said, quote, Turkey is not a country that will act according to threats. Meanwhile, Trump has continued to defend his decision to pull back troops, and he said it is part of ending the endless wars.
We've told President Erdogan how we feel, but we are speaking to both sides and we're seeing what can be made out of a situation. But we have no soldiers in the area, you know.
Trump also took to Twitter where he noted that the United States has spent more than $8 trillion on the war on terror, and he said he believes going into the Middle East was the worst decision the United States has made. In Washington, Rachel Blevins, RT.
See, this is the point where you don't yell and scream about Trump and you agree. You gotta add something to it. Going anywhere, taking anybody's thingy, and putting it in somebody else's thingy is always a bad idea. Always. Not yours. Not your space. That's it. See, the place here is not, it's so hard to say it. Your place here isn't to flip out about the news and say, oh, he's doing it so it must be wrong. It's to fight the principle. Right? Going into the Middle East wasn't a mistake. Going anywhere is the mistake. You have people of the armed forces who signed up to defend their country, not to fight for oil companies, not to fight for mineral companies, not to fight for banana companies, not to fight for any of that other crap. You know, this is where you need to be. Well, you don't have to be. You don't have to be. Be whatever you want to be. My whole point, though, is leave people alone. You have no business sending a defensive military anywhere else. That's why I agree with the whole idea of a defensive military. You should only have a military sized enough to defend your country. You should only have weapons to defend, not weapons to offend. You know, but if you got weapons to offend, you will offend. That's why we don't have a Department of Defense. It's always a Department of Offense.
Joining us now is Major Danny Shorson. He is a retired U.S. Army officer, former history instructor at West Point, and he also served tours in both Iraq and Afghanistan. It's an honor to have you with us, Major. Thanks so much. Let's start with, you've written an article on TruthDig, which I find absolutely fascinating. It's about what's going on right now in Syria, and while most Republicans, most of the media, and many Democrats are blasting the president for what he's done, you have an interesting take on it. Share it with us.
Well, you know, I think it's utter hypocrisy that the foreign policy elites across the spectrum, partisan-wise, and then also the mainstream media, you know, they'll blast anything Trump does. I mean, they're so reflexively anti-Trump that no matter what he does, they're going to attack it. Mm-hmm. You know, my take on Syria, for example, it's complex. I'm in favor of pulling U.S. military forces out of Syria. In fact, I've been writing about that for years. I think that the mission was vague. I think it was ill-advised, and it was all risk and no reward. What concerns me is that it appears that Trump has green-lighted a possible military operation that really will add up to, if not genocide, certainly ethnic cleansing, as the Turks come in, attack the Kurds, and then apparently want to resettle Sunni Arabs from Idlib, refugees, get them out of Turkey and put them into Syria, which is only going to make the situation worse. Now, the big thing to understand here, and what my article is about, is not that Trump's wrong for pulling out. I think we shouldn't have been there in the first place. My point is, we have to look at the context of what happens when the United States military intervenes, hyper-intervenes across the greater Middle East, from West Africa to Central Asia. What happens is we carve out an illegal sort of, canton or statelet, and we create even more problems. We befriend people on the ground who we never intend to stand by, and then as soon as we leave, the political right and the mainstream left both tell us, well, no, we can't leave now. In fact, we have to stay forever, because if we don't, then what about women's rights in Afghanistan? What about Kurdish rights in Syria? So what this does is it creates a situation of perpetual warfare.
It's interesting that you would say that, because a lot of people are arguing we can't leave now because of the Kurds. Oh, poor Kurds. The Turks are going to go after the Kurds, and somehow we are responsible if that were to happen. But I do ask myself, and ask you as well, at what point do we stop picking a side or defending a side and just leaving them to their own business?
Well, I think that the original sin of the American mission in Syria, which is really just a microcosm of the American mission in the greater Middle East since at least 9/11, is that we intervened in the first place. It was illegal. Nobody invited the United States into...
I'm good. I heard enough. Again, I heard enough. I'm good. I'm good. I appreciate what he said. See, when whistleblowers and people who are in the know, people who teach at West Point, they have something to say, you shut up. Do you teach at West Point? Okay, no, you didn't. All right, then shut up. Listen to people from inside the system talk about the system. All right, so I hadn't heard enough. He's agreeing with what we're saying. We need to be out. Leave it alone. Somebody talking about California. What's going on in California? That's more important. You know why? Because California's closer to me. California's closer. I might actually find out what's truly happening in California. I will never know what's happening in Turkey. They're not going to tell me. They're not going to tell me. So what's happening in California other than it's sinking and they're spraying nanoparticles at nighttime, they're giving everybody colds and flus. They're doing forced vaccinations, and what is it? They're taking kids who have parents who live in the house who haven't been vaccinated. So what's happening in California? Anything else? Can it get any worse? Bombing for peace is like having sex for virginity. See, that's the problem with people who say truthful things. It's just common damn sense. It's common damn sense. But if you're being controlled by the media, if you're being mind controlled, then yeah, you're gonna think it's bad because you've already set your mind to that the mailman is bad, not the mail and not the UPS, and not UPS. Oh, fires? California's on fire again? What? Uh-oh. See, and this, we gotta look for these weather weapon geoengineering tools. California, what is it? Power blackouts now? Yeah, well, that's coming. We knew that was coming. They knew Genie a long time ago they were supposed to fix the power grid, but meanwhile, they're passing laws to get y'all all vaccinated. They're spending all that money dropping nanoparticles in the atmosphere, playing games. They're spending all that money subsidizing growing GMO and spraying pesticides, not updating the power grid. They could have fixed that a long time ago. But was it really the power grid that caused it? Or was it that death energy weapon, Ronald Reagan Star Wars thing? They turned everybody's power off in California. What? This is the 21st century for you? What? Then how come, ain't you in California, Genie? Your power out, girl? Because cell towers would go out, or is it parts of California? What? Well, but see, I think that could be a test, though. Because that's what I said, like World War III, we keep playing these stupid games. World War III, that's what it's going to be about. You're going to feel like you're in California. Just the power's going to go out. You're not going to watch it on InstaChat and Pictogram when World War III starts. You're just going to see the power go out. And that's it. Next thing you know, your neighbors, 3 weeks later, your neighbor's going to be coming through the front door with a shotgun. That's how you'll know. This is the long-term result of pretending an oligarchy is actually your government. Jeezo. Friday, that's what's happening in California. That's crazy. Well, I didn't see it's not in the news. Are you sure? Are y'all sure it's not in the news? Are you sure? I don't see it in the old. Where's the California? I don't see. I'm looking. Let me look at the old. Y'all might be making this stuff up. Y'all, poor people like to lie a lot. Y'all like to make stuff up. If it were true, I see it in the old. California fire. I don't see California fires nowhere. Oh, no. Here we go. Here we go. All right, maybe it did happen. You poor people. Sometimes y'all do say what's true.
More than 1 million people in California are without power as a means to prevent wildfires. But many people say they are not happy with the short notice and lives are at stake. Well, our teacher Tasha Sweet brings us the story.
They turn the power off to prevent wildfires? Y'all supposed, you're supposed to just rake the leaves, right? That's it. Trump told you're supposed to just rake the leaves.
From LA.
What? People die when the power's out.
Pacific Gas and Electric are.
Well, our teacher Tasha Sweet brings us the story from LA.
With a red flag warning in effect, Pacific Gas and Electric are putting roughly 1 million customers in the dark. This comes after last November's deadliest wildfires in state history. The company was faced with litigation and even bankruptcy. Despite their efforts, some residents say they're fed up with power outages. Dan and Shawnee Reeves in Humboldt said their $300 in groceries they just bought are hard to replace being low income. Some residents like Christine Pelosi worried about the disabled, sick, and elderly Californians who rely on power for their health. 513,000 homes and businesses in Northern California are set to go black. Power is being shut down to another 234,000 customers at noon local time, and another 42,000 in the southernmost areas are also set to be without power. And the city of Oakland says they are taking this red flag warning very seriously, and all emergency personnel will be prepared.
Bullshizzle. I'm calling bull. I'm calling bull on the whole thing. Why? Because you have 5,000 energy patents at the federal government that you could have released a long time ago so Californians would have power. See, this is what you do. When they start doing dumb stuff like this, it boggles my mind that y'all still vote for these people. It boggles my mind that you got an oligarchy that would shut your power off. This is how much they care about you. They're blowing up other nations, shutting their power off, and then they shut your power off. This is why I ain't voting today. I ain't voting today. Is why today's day I ain't voting, because y'all didn't shut the power off in California, and you got free energy devices. This is the long-term effect of continue to vote for oligarchy. Pretending you got a democracy, they don't give two damns about the people in California. That is insane. I've never heard such a thing. I don't even know what to, I'm just discombobulated, because the level of stupidity just gets stupider and stupider and stupider and stupider. When you vote for dumb things happen. You need to walk away from the California guy, all of them. I bet you Pan is behind it. Peter Pan, what the guy named Pan, I bet you he's behind this. Get everybody vaccine, shut the power off, everybody's groceries go bad. This ain't funny. This is not funny. This is stupid-ridiculous. This is dumb. This is ridiculously ignorant. I don't know how anybody is standing for this crap. But that's what I'm saying. I'm not here to play. Y'all can sit here and play with these people all you want. They don't care. They don't hate California. They just don't care, right? Oligarchies, they don't have the ability to care. They don't have the ability to hate nor love. It's just about making money. They spend all that money everywhere else, but they won't spend that money anywhere near what helps the citizens. They could have updated that power grid a long time ago. We could have been off of power. You could have had sustainable little individual communities. You know what I see on this? I see the same thing that they did to Puerto Rico. That's what I see. Right? Slave colony, right? If you keep people dependent on something that you have, then you will always control them. You'll always keep slaves. The same thing they did to Puerto Rico, the same thing in California, same thing all over the United States of America. Because when people need you, you can take whatever that need is and do whatever you say. And this is what I'm saying. We're slaves and they treat us like we're slaves, and we don't seem to know any better. We need to figure it out. You need to pay attention. You need to watch this, because now the people in California will do anything to have that power turned back on. Anything. They will vote away any right. They'll give away anything to oligarchy just to turn the power back on, because the groceries are going bad, people got to eat, and people die without medical devices. That boggles my mind. That boggles my mind. Let me watch the rest.
We are fully prepared, and we have made it a mandatory that all officers,
made it mandatory that all officers are going to go to Washington to have the 1,000 specific, I said 5,000, 1,000 energy patents that were classified, that the couple hundred engineers were going to get released. All the officers are going to do this. Y'all need to call 911. This is what you need to do. You need to call 911. All right? This is what I'm telling you. You need to call 911 and tell them you spotted an oligarchy running California. That's what you need to do. You need to get your sheriff. And that's what I'm saying. The police ain't your enemy. You don't seem to figure this out. The sheriff is there. You put the sheriff there. And the sheriff is supposed to do for you, not a job for the oligarchy. You need to go down there and you start arresting people. That's what they need to do. They got the training. Then you start going arresting people, releasing all that, those energy projects, all those, that technology, all these people have just been disappearing. All those YouTube videos, they're deleting. People showing free energy devices in the basement and garage, making this, that. They disappear, they die, the stuff gets classified, they can't talk about it. Just talking about the device they created, they go to prison. So they don't talk about it. You know, that's what you need to do. This is what she's about to say right now. She's going to say it right now. She's going to tell all the officers to go down to Washington and release the free energy so the Californians can have power. Watch.
sworn officers, their days off are canceled. And starting this evening at 2 o'clock in the morning, we've even assigned our entire investigative team will be in uniforms and being out in the field.
And now residents are
All right, so I'm sorry. It's not funny. It's not funny. It's not funny. But they literally, so the police officer is supposed to work for you. Don't come out there and watch you. They're supposed to go down there. They're supposed to go and arrest the people that took all your tax dollars and spent it on everything else, but making sure you had a power grid. And they're gonna come out there and watch you, arrest you. You see how they take this and they turn poor people against poor people, and the poor people are the problem? Uh-oh. Is that Sister Laura? Oh, Laura, I know she ain't worried. She ain't worried at all. That girl, she's just got guns. I appreciate a woman with a gun. I appreciate a woman with a gun. Yeah, you don't play. Hey, I'm gonna tell you. Almost all the women in my family know how to shoot. Right? You can be scared of guns all you want. When you know you were a slave on the plantation, when you know you are an inmate in the prison, you need to have a shank. All right? Not because you want to shank somebody, but because people get to acting a fool when the power goes out. That is the truth. That is the truth. You gotta solve problems, but you gotta protect yourself too. Slavery was just gun control. That's all it was. It's just renamed. It was spear control. Bad things happen when you can't take care of yourself. This is why all of your grandparents and mine too told you to be sustainable, told you to be self-sufficient. Stop giving all of your independence to people who have never meant you anything good. Your water, your power, your infrastructure, your security, your safety. You gave it all to people who all work for organizations that are based in power, taking yours.
Scrambling to also be prepared to be without power.
All right, this is horrible. This is horrible. Anybody in California, y'all come on out. Y'all stay out in the East. I can't believe you did. This is the help. This is the flashlight. This is gonna be the help. This is Walmart. This is Target or something. This is the help. Y'all go out and get some flashlights. Don't go get a real government that actually works for people. Don't get something like direct democracy so people can actually vote on on these laws. Like, that's what I'm saying. If you had a direct democracy, how could this go down? They can say, okay, we got a couple of initiatives. What are we gonna vote for? Well, we got this money. How are we gonna spend it? We're gonna either give it to the pesticide companies, we're gonna give it to the corn farmers, we're gonna give it to some GMO farmers, we're gonna help develop some country clubs. We're gonna, what's that dumb thing they were doing with the water? Some Northern California water project where they were rerouting, or just dumb things. Or we're gonna update the power grid. And then the citizens can think about it in California. What's the most important to us? We could build military bases with it, but I think I kind of like power. I've been told that the power grid is outdated, and I think I want my tax dollars to go to power. But this is what you get when you get a representative government, because that's not how they're thinking. The representative government, they're sitting right there representing you. They're representing their retirement and thinking, who's gonna give me the most money for a best retirement? Who's gonna give me the most money so I can stay in office and beat out the other side? Oh, the pesticide companies. Oh, the big pharma companies. Peter Pan, Senator Pan, whatever his name is. Oh, let me see. So if you're gonna give me X amount of dollars to beat out the other side, the Republicans, big pharma, then this is what I'll do. I'll get behind forced vaccination. I hear the kids are getting vaccines. You give me the campaign contribution, I'll make sure I write the law. Is anybody picking up what I'm putting there? You see how this works? Because when they're representing you, they don't have to represent you. All they got to do is represent. This is what I'm saying. They're not doing a job. I mean, they're not doing a service to you. They're just doing a job. We were far past representative government a long time ago. There's a single point of failure. Big Pharma would have to come bribe each and every one of you if you had something like a direct democracy. This is insane. This right here, all of this is insane. That when people having their power shut off and people on oxygen machines and you're gonna tell them to get a damn flashlight and a generator.
We sold out a lot of stuff, lamps and battery-powered lights, lanterns, coolers, and ice blocks.
Schools are expected to be back open by Friday. PG&E remains under intense scrutiny after 85 people were killed and more than 10,000 homes were destroyed last November. The fires were ignited as a result of the company's transmission lines. In Los Angeles, Natasha Sweet, RT.
I don't believe the fires were admitted by some transmission lines. I don't think that's where they came from. Okay? I don't believe it. I don't believe it. So, I don't believe it. I don't believe none of it. As long as your government has powerful weapons and secret projects and energy weapons they can shoot from space. I don't know. I forgot all the details behind the wildfires from last time, but I believe PG&E was the scapegoat. That's not actually what caused the fire. And as long as you got a government that has these tools, I blame them. As long as you got a government that has satellites to control cloud cover, I blame them. I don't like to make decisions until I've seen all the data. I'm not that type of person. I need to see all the data before I can agree with your decision that it was PG&E. I need to see all the data. Release everything. And then you let us decide. That's what happens in a free society. That's what happens in a society where the people actually run their government or have influence in it. They actually are given all the information and then they can make a decision. But they're never given that. Right? And you know whose power is out right now? I just want y'all know whose power is out right now? It's just the Republicans. That's it. It's just the Republicans. It's not the Democrats. They took care of their people. The Democrats, they took care of their citizens. Their power is still on. Whose power is out right now? Everybody's. And this is my point. We all gonna die together. Why do you think I said hashtag we all gonna die? Because hashtag we all gonna have our power shut out together. You can fight, hate the other side all you want. You can get emotional. You can cry about the politicians that don't have any power. You can hate them. You can love them all you want. But at the end of the day, their power ain't going out. Yours is, right? Together, right? If they shut your power off together, maybe y'all can vote together. If they shut your power off together, maybe you can solve problems together. If they shut your power off together, maybe you can do other things together. Because you're all gonna die together. That's all I'm saying. China owns much of California. Laura, same thing here too. China does. They own a lot of land here. They've been buying up land here and they ain't planting nothing. They ain't planting nothing. I think they buy up land here and to raise food prices. I think that's all it is. They're buying up land left and right. Nobody's questioning it, but the problem is the Democrats. The problem has to be the Republicans. It's like China's buying up land because they see what's happening. They're looking at America from a 30,000 foot level and they know America's being looted. That's insanity to me. I don't even know what to say on that one. I have no idea. It just boggles my mind that we still play this game with these people. It just boggles my mind. Let me see. Yelling at Congress fixes fires. Of course it does, Titus. You have to yell at Congress and the fire's gonna stop, right? No. You need to impeach people. That's what fixes wildfires. Everybody knows that. When you put your collective efforts and emotional things, then the fires stop. That's how you fix the problems, right? Yeah, all right, I'm done. I ain't nothing else to say. That boggles my mind. But once again, if you got a slave plantation and people think they're free and they don't have any say in government, then everything that happens to them is justified. Wake up. This is just a taste. It's just a taste of what's to come. You think this is bad? Oh no. Baby, put your seatbelt on. You think this is bad? You have no idea what an indifferent, apathetic, non-government is going to put you. You have no idea where this is going to go. This is the beginning. This isn't even the tip of the spear. Right? Only we can fix it. Government can't fix anything. It's not their job to fix it. It's not their job. Their job is to get campaign contributions to stay in office to fight the other fantasy party. That's their job, and they're going to do their job. They do their job well. But of course, the news, the news is telling you what's going on. Hate to say I told you so, but Miss Tree told them last year, year before that, year before that, year before that. This is going to get worse and worse and worse and worse until people take control of their lands. They have no say. We have no say whatsoever. We're being represented, and the corporations bought all the representation. And the little representation they didn't buy, they don't have to buy. That's the lower line politicians. I heard someone say that some customers may be without electricity to 5 to 7 days. You know, people die without electricity for 2 to 3 days. That's called treason, Miss Tree. That's called treason. It's called democide. It's treason. But everybody's okay with it because they're upset or they love a president. They'll prevent the fires with bullets. That's what happened, Miss Tree. They're going to prevent the fires with F-35s. That's where they put all the money. Bullets and exploding gas tanks reminds me of the Branch Davidians. Oh, and the likes of Post/Raids. Yeah, well, you know what? I mean, that's that, and that was it. I think about the Waco, Texas. I think about Ruby Ridge. I think about the Bundys and the raids on the ranches. I think about Lavoy Finicum. And it's all the same problem. It's all the same problem in the ghetto. You know, Chris Gardner, Gleek Browder. It's all the same problem. It's all the same problem. People are being starved. Their government's looting the country because they're getting paid to do it. And it's not raining, right, Lord? So they ain't got no water to put the fires out. And the answer is to turn the power off. Even if PG&E did it, even if I'm wrong and it wasn't your lying A government, and PG&E faulty equipment did it, what happened between the last wildfires and today? What'd they do? Where'd they spend the money on? Where'd they go? They didn't do nothing. They didn't do anything because they don't care. They don't have to. The Democrats hate the Republicans and the Republicans hate the Democrats. They don't have to do anything. All they got to do is collect a check and stay in office. Modern day Darwinism, survival of the fittest, living without electricity. Yeah, Jason, and that's going to be ugly because most people can't grow a basil plant. Most people, well, California, some got orange trees and citrus and stuff, but people can't take care of themselves. They don't know how to get water. They don't know where water comes from. And there's the benefit of colonization and breaking people's ability to survive. You make them dependents. Dependents can't stage a revolt. Dependents can't take care of themselves, and they will do whatever they're told to do. Let me see. Let me do some more comments to get out of here. Tax the fire. That's the answer. I done figured it out. We need taxes, y'all. It's going to stop climate change. It's going to bring CO2 down. It's going to stop the California wildfire. And you know what the funny thing, the sad thing, Ty, is they get on TV and they say that and everybody start clapping for it. Everybody, we need to raise taxes to fix the PNG power grid. Like, yeah, we're going to fix the power grid next year. We're going to tax everybody. That's a good idea. We're going to tax everybody. And they won't fix it. They'll like fix one they'll fix one smart meter. Well, we found the smart meter that caused the problem, so we're going to take this extra $500 million in taxes and we'll give the rest of the military industrial complex. It was in the news, it ain't true. It was in the billionaires' news. It's a part of the billionaires' projects. You do not fix problems caused by billionaires, big corporations, and bankers with anything that they tell you on the news. I'm not allowed to share your talk. No, Christine, because I'm bad. I'm bad. I'm bad. You know it. I'm bad. I mean, you know, you're not allowed. Because one, you know too damn much. That's number one, Christine. You can pose way too much critical thinking, root cause. You know, that's number one. And two, I just don't believe in the game anymore. So you can't put two of those things together. You're not supposed to share. We got a CIA. We have a CIA and a deep state that has no interest in the monkeys waking up. So that's how it's supposed to work. I laugh at it. I appreciate you sharing. I appreciate you trying to share if you can share, but it doesn't work. It's not supposed to work. We still vote for this crap. That's it, Gerardian. Whose power is vulnerable? Yeah, everyone's, and that's the whole point, Rebecca, is that, you know, they're literally fighting against themselves. Democrats and Republicans are literally fighting against their own interest and their own power, their own water, the cleanliness of it, their own food, because they hate each other. They don't solve anything. They don't solve anything. The only thing they solve is getting their emotional high listening to their lying leaders. That's all they solve. They're happy with that. They get the ego hit. They can go to work and get the vendetteria and say, my politician beat your politician, beat the pants off your politician. And they're going to do that by the candlelight. They're going to do it by candlelight. I'm laughing now. I ain't going to be laughing when it's in Pennsylvania. It's going to be here in a minute. But you know, my thing is I go with it. I go with it. You know, if my people haven't figured this out yet, we can't seem to figure out that there's only two sides in all of this. Those who are trying to move forward and fix things and do something right, and those who just trying to get that ego hit so they can go to Vindicator and brag with John because the Democrats beat the Republican got more seats than the Democrat, whatever. And by candlelight, none of the computers work. They're writing. None of the computers on, all the emergency lights are on. In fact, emergency lights ain't gonna be on for a minute. They'll be writing on the sheets of paper. Yeah, we beat you guys. Yeah, we did. It's like football. That's all it is anymore. It's just politics. It's just, oh, somebody said that. It's more like football. See? Yeah. Oh. See, now you got me in crazy land because you posted, it's about football. Who's that, Hunter? You posted football, and see, I didn't see football. I was looking over here, but my brain told me football. I think that came from you. Either that's some crazy quantum physics, wave energy stuff, or my brain saw football, and it decided to tell me about that. That's crazy. That's crazy because it was my subconscious. Yeah, before it goes to crazy land, it's just survival sensing in the mind and how it works, and you know the things that your brain selects to tell you and what it doesn't. A lot of crazy stuff. Anyway, I saw somebody say stuff I didn't say anybody. I'm gonna see PG&E target for financial sectors. So see ya, move, need political chastity belt to prevent future FO. Well, you know what? I think California is a dangerous place to live right now. Definitely move. Let me see. Snow in there. Modern day Darwinism. Got that. I thought I saw a comment. Oh, there you go. Brother Harley's in the house. MIT Technology says the Pentagon has a laser weapon that can identify people from a distance by their heartbeat. Justin's prototype is called. Ooh. So Harley, I'm going to tell you something. I talked to a guy not too long ago. He said not only that, but they have satellites that actually targets people by the tops of their heads, by the tops of their cars, any stain, rust, the color. They track everybody. And so the fact that, or the statement that they can track people by their heartbeats or how they breathe or their lungs or the makeup of their body or the skeletal structure, that doesn't surprise me one bit. Doesn't surprise me one bit. That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't get too excited about the MK Ultra and the Freedom of Information Acts and all this stuff that gets released, because we're only told the things that they're not using. We're only told about the things they were using 30 years ago. We're not told about what they're using today. You know, but all these whistleblowers, and that's how it works, Harley. All these whistleblowers are trying to tell us because they know. And they can only whistleblow. They can only release like information here and there because they're under all of these patent restrictions and intellectual property. They can be sued, they can be imprisoned. You know, you can't have classification of knowledge in a free country. You know, but they try to warn us, but instead, you know, the power went out, and it's obvious it's the Republicans' fault. The power went out, and it's not the oligarchy's fault. It's obvious it's the Democrats, so we need to impeach them. All right, how you going? This is Gerard. Love y'all to death. I'm out of here. This is insane. Stop believing in the system. It's a matrix, and we are all slaves. Hollywood is a disclosure project, and the news is a part of that matrix. We need to stop believing in the matrix and start believing in each other again. All right, I gotta get going. Y'all have a great day. I'm out of here. Bye-bye.